Sup ya buckets, I'm Minipa, and in this video I shall show you the various techniques and insights I've gained from bug hunting to make your journey to a golden bug net easier. When it comes to catching bugs, it is actually more complex than fishing. This is because fishing is just various methods of pressing A at the right time. Not only is the final swing for bug hunting important, but the approach matters a lot as well. Doing it too fast could cause a bug you've been trying to get spawned for a couple hours to just run away and you have to redo everything, but doing it too slow could cause you to misjudge the swinging distance and cause you to miss. I'm not going to go through the techniques for every single critter, as the majority of them can be easily caught by just holding down A and releasing it. I'll just be going over the more difficult bugs. The first approach is the stop and walk approach. Instead of holding A and releasing in range like the majority of critters, the walk and stop approach is basically required for the golden stag and other rare coconut beetles, and it is very helpful when you're catching the scorpion or the tarantula. Now, while it is possible to actually just run up to the scorpion tarantula and just press A, that's very difficult, and most of the time you will miss and get stung. Just like in real life, the trick to catching critters is patience. You don't have to wait for hours to ambush a critter either. You can easily use the walk and stop approach by just waiting an extra maybe 15 seconds max. I'll go over the spawning post later, but just so you know, spiders and scorpions, they do not chase you unless you have your net out. If you're trying to hunt for a scorpion or a tarantula, get your pole vault out, and if you do see one, just run around the corner, it won't sting you. Once you do see one, take your net out and use the walk and stop approach. Every time you see the target go into alert mode, the tarantula, it'll lift up its front legs in a menacing manner, and in the scorpion in a similar manner, but except with its claws raised. When it happens, stop until they drop their guard, and then continue your approach until you are within range. After that, let go of A, and you have it. Pretty easy. For any beetle over 6,000 bells, I will suggest using this method too. While specific beetles such as the rainbow stag or the giant stag doesn't really need this method, if you want to be safe and you don't know which beetle is sensitive, then I will suggest using this approach, at least for the first one that you see. When a beetle is relaxed, it'll wiggle its mandibles up and down, but when it is alert, it'll stop moving. So just like with scorpion tarantulas, you walk forward until it stops moving, stop, see its wiggle, continue the approach, let go of A once you're in range, and then you have the beetle. This method can be used to catch all non-flying spawns, but is honestly not worth using on every single thing such as the citrus longhorn beetle, as for those you can actually get pretty close until they run away. The second approach is for the wasp. Now most of us veterans know how to deal with wasps, either by catching them right away, jumping into the ocean, or cheesing into some random building. However, new players might not know how to catch them, and for the most part, seeing a wasp is a guaranteed sting. If your sole goal is to catch wasps, you can just go around the map shaking every tree, placing all the trees with a considerable distance so you don't get blocked by other trees when you do get a wasp. The moment you do see the wasp fall, you just hold A, walk a little bit forward, release. So for the most part, it is not too difficult. While some people might shake all the trees to get rid of a wasp as more of a safety measure, others, like me, cannot be bothered with that. So let's say you're going on cutting trees on your daily resource runs, and then a wasp comes out. Usually, you wouldn't have enough time to switch right in front of their face before you get stung. If one does fall, the first thing you want to do is run to a clearing where there's a lot of space and a wasp's direction is visible. If you're doing this in a dense forest, you probably will get stung. But if not, run a considerable distance away, switch to the net, and then after that, hold A, face the direction, and release it when they get close. The hitbox of the wasps is actually very big, so I will suggest trying to go for a later catch than an early catch. These examples are really the people that struggle with. I mean, I was going to put the banded dragonfly, but if you miss, you can just try again. It's a lot more forgivable than the wasp, scorpion, tarantula, and then the coconut beetles, because if you miss, they're gone. You only have one try. These methods do take a little bit of practice. It might take a lot longer for certain people compared to others, but just keep practicing and eventually you will get better. Don't give up, and that goes for everything else in life as well. Unlike fishing, where spawning locations are really just bodies of water to fish in, insects have a variety of factors that determine what you're looking for will or will not spawn. So let me give a few examples. The Rosalia batetsi beetle is one that only spawns on tree stumps, even if the beetle is available in your month and time. If you didn't cut off a single tree for a tree stump, you will not be able to spawn this beetle, no matter what. Another example will be the fly or the ant. These bugs will not spawn on their own unless you drop, let's say, trash for the fly or a rotten turnip for the fly and the ant. In addition to specific spawns, weather is a lot larger factor compared to fish, in which only the coelacanth is affected. When it is raining or snowing, it disables all flying spawns, all flower spawns, and all tree stump spawns as well. These restricted spawning locations and environment make bug hunting a lot more complex than fishing. But worry not, I'll leave the Google document containing all this information in the description. Not only that, but knowing what disables a spawn and what can get something to spawn will help us for the next section, spawning pool optimization. If you've seen my rare fish guide already, then you probably know what spawning pool optimization is. For those of you that don't know, a spawning pool is the list of possible critters that can spawn at your specific time and month and the environment. Minimizing this is to hunt a certain bug where there is the fewest number of contesting spawns. The smallest spawning pool of any particular critter rarely coincides with what you are catching, so I'm just gonna assume that you are willing to time travel. Let's take a look at a golden stag considering its rarity. To begin, we have to look at a stag's own spawning time and location. It spawns on coconut trees in any weather in July and August for the north, and January and February for the south, in the times of 5 PM to 8 AM. It also has a rarity of 1, making it the rarest relative spawn rate. To outline my process better, I will be using this copy of a Google document to delete all the insects with spawns we can eliminate. First, I shall get rid of the ones that don't spawn in July and August, as this brings the critter list down from 80 to 64. Not 65 because entry number 1 is the label. Considering the stag is in rain, we can actually remove all the flower, tree stumps, and flying spawns. By time traveling to a rainy day, we can prevent insects such as butterflies from spawning. This also saves us the time of picking all the flowers and removing all the tree stumps. Bugs with very specific spawns such as the ant and fly can also be removed. This is assuming you have no rotten turnips or trash on the ground. After that, we can start removing the bugs that spawn outside of the golden stag's own times. For the bugs that spawn until 7 PM, I will start removing them as the golden stag spawns all the way to 5 AM. This means just by hunting after 7 PM, it will remove the critter from the spawning pool. Now, we have to look at the months that the golden stag itself is available in. Out of July and August, which one has less spawns? In this case, it will be July. Right now, we have the best time narrowed down to July after 7 PM. However, we need a more detailed bracket, so let's continue. From the current list, there are bugs that spawn after 11 PM, meaning we can narrow it down further by hunting between 7 PM and 11 PM. There we have it. By systematically removing bugs and cross-referencing spawn times, I have concluded that the best time to hunt for the golden stag is in July for the north or January for the south, between the times of 7 PM to 11 PM when it is raining. 5 PM to 7 PM is a viable time as well, as there are actually spawns after 7 PM you can remove. However, after checking the times, I believe 5 to 7 is actually slightly worse. Therefore, I decided to go with 7 PM to 11 PM. Additionally, more can be done to increase the spawn rates. Since the golden stag does not spawn on regular trees, you can actually cut down all your fruit, cedar, and oak trees while mass planting coconut trees on the beaches. You do not have to worry about the stumps because the goal is to do this when it is raining. However, if you are going this far, it'll only be worth it if you're hunting all the coconut stags at once, because taking all the time to remove your trees is not worth it if you're only going for the golden stag. Keep in mind this can be done for the rare beetle island as well. Even though it has a 2% chance, you'll find the spawn rates on that island is a lot better than your own island, and that might actually save you time, even if it takes you an hour or two to find that island with Nook Mouse tickets. In conclusion, if you follow the steps I listed, there should be nothing keeping you from getting the golden bug in it and filling your Critterpedia, unless it's atrocious RNG. The fix is to just cry. Anyways, that's the end of the video. I will see you guys Saturday for the Deep Sea Critters guide. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this one. A huge thanks to my members, Scardaddy, Poop, Selena Cow, and Trinity. Stay cool. Like, hit the bell, and comment for a chance to win a golden potato. Peace, you shits!